Jaron "Boots" Ennis will defend his IBF World Welterweight title against David Avanesyan at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia on Saturday, July 13th. Avanesyan is aiming to become a world ruler for the second time, having been elevated to WBA king after winning the interim title in May 2016 in Arizona against Sugar Shane Mosley, losing the strap by the finest of margins in his defense against Lamont Peterson in February 2017 in Cincinnati. Neil Marsh, the manager of David Avanesyan, spoke candidly about the challenge in an interview. He said in an interview, "A lot of these world champions while going near him. He is dangerous, so we might have to force something. He has already had a crack at two-time by taking on Terence Crawford for the WBO crown in Omaha in December 2022, an opportunity that followed a long reign as European champion that included a pair of KO wins over Kerman Lejaraga and spiteful KOs over British duo Josh Kelly and Liam Taylor. The UK-based Armenian, Jaron Ennis, replaces Cody Crowley in the bout after the Canadian was ruled out for medical reasons. Cody Crowley was forced to withdraw from his IBF welterweight title fight against Jaron "Boots" Ennis on July 13th after he wasn't medically cleared due to fluid accumulation in his right eye following surgery in November. Crowley announced on Instagram on Tuesday night. He posted, "Today, I met with my eye surgeon who performed double eye surgery on me in November 2023. While I am pleased that my eyes continue to improve and heal, it still does not meet the minimum requirements set forth by the Pennsylvania Athletic Commission. Despite being grateful for his eye recovery, he cannot step into the ring for his next fight." He further stated, "The repaired retina in my right eye is experiencing fluid accumulation, causing distortion in my vision. As a result, the surgeon has not medically cleared me to fight on July 13th. Over the next few days and weeks, my team and I are meeting with world-class eye doctors and surgeons to explore my options so I can have a clearer path to get back to world-class boxing at a championship level." Cody Crowley's dreams of challenging Jaron "Boots" Ennis for the IBF welterweight title were dashed as he revealed his ongoing battle with post-surgery complications. Despite his gratitude for the progress in his eye recovery, fluid accumulation in his right eye has left him unable to meet the Pennsylvania Athletic Commission's medical requirements, prompting him to withdraw from the July 13th fight. Amidst the change in opponents, Jaron Ennis expressed his confidence that David Avanesyan will provide an even more thrilling showdown for the Philadelphia fans. He said, "Now that Crowley is officially not my opponent, I actually like Avanesyan as a better opponent." Ennis welcomed the challenge, stating that he believed Avanesyan would offer a stricter fight, aligning with his desire for a formidable opponent. He further added, "He will put up a better fight, which will be what I want. July 13th, don't miss this beautiful, outstanding performance." On the other side, Avanesyan graciously acknowledged the opportunity presented by Matchroom, expressing respect for Ennis as a world-class boxer and recognizing the stakes of the upcoming bout. He said, "I would like to thank Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, Tom Dallas, the legal teams, and my long-term manager, Neil Marsh, for this fantastic opportunity." Avanesyan says he did not hesitate to accept the world title fight, adding that he holds Ennis in high regard. He further added, "Jaron Ennis is a world-class boxer who I respect highly and is a potential huge star, and on July 13th, we will find out if he is the real deal. When I received the call to go into a tremendous battle with such highly rated fighters, I did not need to be asked twice, especially when it was for a world title. This is what I love. I am fit and strong, and I am ready. Let's have it." Eager for the chance to compete for the world title, Avanesyan emphasized his readiness and determination to seize this opportunity, affirming his commitment to giving his all in pursuit of victory. In an interview, he stated, "I promise all fans I will give everything to win this world title. This is my last world title chance, and I have to take it. I respect Ennis and his career, as he has been perfect, but he has what I want and need." Ennis's clash with Avanesyan tops a massive night of action in Philadelphia. Jaron Ennis defends his crown for the first time in a long-awaited fight since November. Jaron returns to action just over a year after his stylish 10th round KO win over Roman Villa in Atlantic City. Ennis successfully defended his interim title during that fight before being elevated to full champion. Ennis's skill and dominance in the ring continue to captivate audiences and solidify his position as one of the sport's most formidable fighters. Many experts and pros couldn't help but praise Ennis after his stellar performance. After that fight, Showbiz the Adult expressed his emotions for Jaron Ennis's victory in a very different way. He said, "I don't think I have ever seen that before. A fighter puts himself in a super slow motion, steals land, and makes a man miss. It was unbelievable for him to witness Jaron unable to hit even in his slow motion moves, as this is an insane ability of Jaron Ennis." After that fight, Terence Crawford posted on social media saying, "Dude took hella shots to the head that fight should have been stopped." Avanesyan returned in November with a 4th round TKO victory against an 11:55-3 journeyman, his first fight since he was spectacularly KO'd by Terence Crawford in the 6th round of their December 2022 bout. Avanesyan said, said, "When I received the call to go into a tremendous battle with such a highly rated fighter, I did not need to be asked twice, especially when it is for a world title." He further stated, "This is my last world title chance, and I have to take it. I respect Ennis and his career. He has been perfect, but he has what I want and need." Avanesyan defeated a faded version of Hall of Famer Sugar Shane Mosley in 2016 for the WBA interim welterweight title. He was elevated to champion ahead of his first defense versus Lamont Peterson, which he lost via decision. Avanesyan has already faced the best welterweight in the world, Crawford, and will now fight Ennis, who hopes to take the top spot at 147 pounds. Ennis is a rising star who signed a multi-fight deal with Matchroom in April. He previously fought exclusively on Showtime, which ceased sports programming at the end of last year. Now that Ennis is linked with a significant promoter, he's hoping to establish himself as an attraction in Philadelphia, a city rich with boxing history and once a hotbed for the sport. Ennis said, "Everybody in Philly's been waiting for this." Ennis told in an interview in April in New York, "There hasn't been a fight in Philly in a while, or even a big fight. Nobody's fought at the Wells Fargo Center yet. They haven't had a big fight in Philadelphia in a long time." Ennis last fought in Philadelphia in November 2018, when he was still a top prospect. In November, Crawford stripped Ennis of his title and elevated Ennis to champion. With Crawford and Spence both now campaigning at 154 pounds, Ennis is in a position to take control of the division. Ennis last fought in July when he scored a 10th round TKO victory over Royman Villa. Ennis said, "Now that Crowley is officially not my opponent, I actually like Avanesyan as a better opponent. He will put up a better fight, which is what I want." July 13th. Don't miss this beautiful, outstanding performance. Ennis, who is rated the no. Two contender at 147 pounds by the ring, will be fighting for the first time in his hometown since 2018 when he knocked out Raymond Serrano in 2 rounds. It will be Ennis's first bout in over a year, as he last fought in July of 2023, knocking out Royman Villa in 10 rounds. David Avanesyan is the same opponent that Terence Crawford fought after Sean Porter, but before Errol Spence Jr. So when it was announced that Jaron Ennis would be fighting David Avanesyan, Terence Crawford even said in his social media post, "What's up with the double standards?" He posted, "Hello, all you people are so funny with the double standards." Now, to explain this, the first thing to keep in mind is that David Avanesyan was not Jaron Ennis's first choice. Jaron Ennis was supposed to be fighting Cody Crowley, but Cody Crowley pulled out of the fight because of an eye issue. Then Jaron Ennis, who was signed with Matchroom and had promoter Eddie Hearn, found somebody to fill in, and it was David Avanesyan. Boots was in a situation where he had to fight someone ranked in the IBF to fulfill his mandatory defense requirement. The reason for his scheduled bout with Cody Crowley wasn't because Boots wanted to fight him, but because the IBF mandated it. Therefore, Boots had to fulfill this obligation. Given the IBF rankings, many fighters either had already been defeated by Jaron Ennis or were unavailable. The fact that David Avanesyan, who has fought Terence Crawford and shares common opponents with Ennis, was secured as a replacement is actually beneficial for Ennis's career. This fight with Avanesyan presents a better opportunity than the initially planned bout with Cody Crowley. Mayweather already alarmed the young fighters about Boots Ennis in his interview. He said, "So many young fighters are up and coming that we don't talk about. I'll come on record saying these guys, that kid Ennis Boot, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. I tell these fighters to not. Hell of a fighter." He offered insight into the emerging talent in boxing, specifically highlighting Jaron Boots Ennis as a name to watch closely. Mayweather emphasized the importance of recognizing Ennis's skill and potential, cautioning young fighters not to overlook him. He further added, "I feel like he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. We talk about a lot of fighters at welterweight, but we don't talk about him, and I think that he is going to be a problem." Despite Ennis's remarkable abilities, Mayweather noted a lack of acknowledgement in discussions about welterweight fighters, suggesting that Ennis is often overlooked. In a recent interview, Terence Crawford was asked about the possibility of a potential fight with Jaron Boots Ennis. As speculation swirled around a possible matchup between the two welterweight talents, Crawford offered his thoughts on the matter. Responding to the question, Crawford remarked, "Right now in my career, a lot of people like Boots this, Boots that. You know, fighting Boots is a lose-lose situation. When they're going to say, 'Oh well, he was young, he wasn't ready, you've got the experience over you. You've got so much more than this kid that's never been tested before, you know.'" Crawford elaborated on his perspective, expressing concern about the perception of facing Ennis. He highlighted the risk involved in such a bout, emphasizing the narrative that could emerge if he were to face Ennis, and the potential for criticism regardless of the outcome. He further added, "Because we've always seen him win in a fashion where we say, 'Oh man, he's cold, skillful, but he's never had anybody testing me.' Fighting Boots is not a mega fight I'm looking for. It's a big challenge. I'm not taking anything away from Boots. Where I am at in my career right now, I worked my off to get to where I am, and I deserve to do whatever the hell I want." Despite acknowledging Ennis's skill and potential, Crawford underscored his focus on seeking significant challenges and his autonomy in decision-making regarding his career path. At this juncture, experts are already sharing their predictions. Antonio Tarver strongly advocates for Terence to confront Jaron, particularly given the apparent collapse of his rematch with Errol Spence. Tarver contends Ennis should not play second fiddle, especially if the Spence-Crawford rematch falls through. Should Crawford persist as the champion, he must confront Ennis. Amidst speculation and anticipation surrounding potential matchups in the welterweight division, Antonio Tarver's endorsement of Terrence Crawford facing Jaron Ennis adds fuel to the conversation. As the anticipation builds for the highly anticipated clash between Jaron Ennis and David Avanesyan, the boxing world eagerly awaits what promises to be an electrifying showdown, with Ennis defending his IBF World Welterweight title against a determined Avanesyan. Both fighters are poised to leave everything in the ring come July 13th. Ennis, fueled by his desire to prove himself against a formidable opponent, expresses confidence in his abilities to deliver a captivating performance for the Philadelphia fans. Meanwhile, Avanesyan, fueled by the opportunity to seize the world title, pledges to leave no stone unturned in his pursuit of victory. With the stage set for an epic battle, all eyes will be on Wells Fargo Center as Ennis and Avanesyan step into the ring to etch their names in boxing history. Don't miss this unforgettable night of action and drama as two warriors collide for championship glory. As the excitement mounts for this title clash between Jaron Ennis and David Avanesyan, who do you think will emerge victorious on July 13th?